Hey, it's Big T. I thought I would try and do a little segment using a whiteboard and see how this turned out for us. And today's topic is going to be on slack. Slack in our system tends to have a negative connotation to it, something we want to try and avoid. But today I want to emphasize that there has to be a manageable level of slack in our system when suspension nymphing in order to create the proper drift. Too little slack and you get drag in the system, too much slack and it takes too long to set the hook, and you get somewhat of a mending nightmare that can occur as well. So we're going to zoom in a little bit on the whiteboard, and hopefully a little bit of drawing will help explain and illustrate what we're talking about. Okay, let's illustrate what we mean by manageable slack. If we have a river and our current is moving in this direction downstream, assuming we're positioned here and we make a cast with an indicator upstream, if we don't have enough slack in our system and have more of a straight line sitting there, as this fly comes downstream or our indicator comes downstream, we're going to get drag on that. What I mean by drag on that is the current's not going to be pushing it as fast, and it's going to bring it closer to us as it drifts downstream. The problem with that concept is the indicator is actually, again, current's moving this way. The indicator will be here and your flies will move in front of your indicator. So if your flies do that and we have a fish that happens to come and bite for us, this indicator has to travel past that fish before it will indicate a bite and drop. Because as that floats down, it's creating a slack system. It's got to actually pass that fish and get back into that angled position before we'll register a strike. And there's no way that fish is going to eat and not spit that fly before it registers. Conversely, if we're fishing the same river with the same current situation, make our cast in the same position, and we have too much slack, when we go to take that rod and move in order to set the hook upon detecting a strike, this line will not straighten out quickly enough to get a proper hook set. And so we're left with fish that will either spit immediately or could get hooked and lost during the fight. So what we would like to see happen, and this is something that takes time in a field situation, is for you to make that cast and have a little bit of manageable slack. You've got a 9-foot rod, generally 8-foot rod, longer rod, so by the principle of leverage, when you do go set that hook, you are going to take up a decent amount of line. So it's okay to have some of this slack here. You just don't want too much. Hopefully this is helpful. For more tips, videos, fly tying materials, equipment, please visit my website, bigtflyfishing.com, and subscribe to my channel.